And then you hear Adam Cole's music, and he comes out by himself and is walking and says that Las Vegas sucks. He should be at home rehabbing his ankle, which begs the question why he's here, and then says that we all have a devil inside of us. And when he's 100%, you will give the devil his due. And this crowd is loudly chanting for MJF when the lights go out. And we've got this this musical, like this piano rendition of, or this orchestra doing MJF's theme. And it's from his perspective as he walks into a room full of MJF memorabilia, weapons, and then his suit.
Like artifacts and Easter eggs from his previous matches.
Yeah, kind of all like the MJF museum. And there's the scarf, and then the person from the perspective, we get a torn up photo of Adam Cole and MJF, and it fades to black, and then MJF's music plays. And it's subtle, but the camera's on Adam Cole, and when he hears that music, it's just like under his breath, oh shit. You can see him mouth the words, and out comes 2002 Paul Levesque, complete with this leather jacket jean combo, and MJF returns, and the dude was not packing light. Look at this guy.
I mean, you remember Triple H in 2002, right? You know,
I mean,
all we were short of was U2. But, you know, this certainly felt, I mean, knowing MJF, probably a very intentional reference to Hunter's famed comeback of that era.
I think more than a little subtle here, but yes.
Yeah, because who wears jean denim vests
Nobody.
on top of leather jackets in 2024, you know, unless you were going for a Triple H reference.
Yeah, I thought this was a one of one in Madison Square Garden 24 years ago, but
Sure.
MJF comes out and the place goes insane for him. And he comes to the ring and MJF hugs Adam Cole, and the crowd's furious at this, but then it's all the setup to kick him in the balls and hits Adam Cole with a brain buster and calls him a noodle-armed, bobble-headed son of a bitch and a shit stain. He said he gave Adam Cole trust, and that shit ain't happening again. He didn't take out MJF. All you did was wake him up, and I remembered who I was. I'm the greatest wrestler on God's green earth, and unlike those schmucks in the back, I don't need a New Japan or a Vince McMahon to make MJF. I made MJF. And there's going to be no more haha, no more friendships, no more kangaroo kicks. Just going to wait for him to drop no more Kowloons for Chinese food. No more bullshit. He says that now he's fueled by hate. So the crowd starts chanting hate, and no one's going to be safe. And he picks up the devil mask and states that masks are adorned by cowards who hide. I'm done hiding. I'm done apologizing for being great. All of your faves suck a big old bag of donkey dicks, which this classy crowd began chanting as well. And this
So
mask,
we're done with the kangaroo kicks and in with the donkey dicks.
we're elevating ourselves to donkey dicks. And he says that this mask makes my stomach turn, and it can go straight to hell, as he stomps the mask and morphed from Paul Levesque to Ric Flair, taking off the jacket, elbowing the mask and throwing it away. And before he ends the segment, he lets us in on the worst kept secret in professional wrestling. He has re-signed with AEW, but he has not just signed in on paper. He has signed in permanent ink, and he zooms in on his calf that reads "Bet on yourself" with an AEW logo and poker chip. I'm wondering if the AEW portion of this was magic marker.
No, I don't think so.
Switch at a later date.
Well,
there you go.
The tattoo removal technology is incredible these days. So
Yes, I thought he was going to reveal that he too has a history with Tony Storm and Deonna Purrazzo.
well, we don't know who. Maybe they have. Have you seen their other ankle? We don't know.
We don't. This is a hell of a segment. One thing I really enjoyed about this was the fact that, number one, you have MJF coming back as without question, feels like the most red hot babyface for this next run. And on top of that, it felt like he was speaking with a huge segment of the audience by shitting on a lot of the stuff that people were most critical of that he was attached to last year, and kind of understanding, like, I am with your criticisms that I was as well, and kind of denouncing that. And it just feels like you are listening to your audience instead of, fighting your audience and defending some of this stuff that devil mask, whatever you want to look at, like what that did lead to was a really strong pay-per-view number for that reveal. But you see that mask, and I don't think it brings back wonderful memories for people of what that represented.
So I mean, it's no secret that I think like the perception of AEW at the moment is that it's on a downturn that has kind of been simultaneous with WWE's upswing. And so much of, I think, what we remember of maybe when that was starting to become a noticeable like trait of AEW is with MJF up top with this double storyline. It's probably unfair because a lot of those weeks we were looking at that double storyline is actually maybe some of the most intriguing stuff and some of the stuff that got the most over, at least to the live audience. But nonetheless, those skits, the comedic tone of them, it is somewhat at this point in hindsight representative of maybe a downswing in AEW sort of perception, at least. I found that to be the most interesting. I found most interesting about this how dismissive he was of Adam Cole. When you're trying to this is like their big storyline that they at one point, I think we had intended maybe they would try to do again at Wembley. This felt like it was MJF coming out here, kicking Adam Cole in the balls and telling him to get out of his ring with no further reference to Adam Cole whatsoever for the rest of his promo. I almost wonder if this was just a quick, we spent enough time on that stuff. I'm done with it. Let's have me move on. And if it is, I would find that to be an incredibly bold move. I would certainly be concerned for Adam Cole and the Undisputed Kingdom coming out of it. But it would also be not a move I'd be completely against because at this point with the current landscape of AEW, I'm kind of ready for MJF to move on. There's so many more attractive, opponents for him. And how long are we going to wait for this Adam Cole thing? And is it going to be that interesting afterwards? I don't know. I did find it at least interesting how dismissive he was of the whole Adam Cole thing coming out of this. But as a reintroductory promo, I thought this was fantastic. This was the promise of a serious MJF, beautiful day MJF, if you will, coming in, no more bullshit. And he's gunning for all the top guys in the company. So I thought it was a great sort of proclamation that this is going to be a different MJF going forward.
I was curious to see if they were going to, because to me, the big draw of Wednesday is MJF appearing on Dynamite and coming back on television. And if you recall, this should almost be the 180 promo that Double or Nothing 2 years ago, he loses that match to Wardlow, and then he goes on TV on that Wednesday, and that's the one where he just buries AEW, obliterates it, and now here is the guy that has inked AEW to his skin and is here to live and die by AEW, and is the guy that is going to lead AEW to the promised land. Maybe he will be dubbing himself 2 Bill Max or something like that. But I think if he's on Dynamite, I would have been plugging that tonight to the Kia Forum is a big
what
venue.
Room would they have to have had on this show to plug anything on Dynamite?
Well, God forbid, yeah. If we took out any time from some of the dice spots that we'll get to here, but anyway, big angle on the show with MJF's return.
One of the
most
most
significant things on the show.
Agreed. Yeah.